It's the end of the season and it's time to put the flowers to bed. I'm gonna show you the right way to take down your flower beds and also show you how you can save seeds for next year's garden. It's chaos. Let's go. It's time to suit up and hit the wildflower field. Let's go. All right, you can tell after the frost and after a whole season of giving us goodness, they're beat. So it's time to cut them down. A lot of people leave them up, but I think that looks really raggy and crappy. So what I like to do is I want to cut them down to the ground, leave everything there. That way it'll mulch and all the perennials will leave their seeds there. Next year the wildflower garden comes up, even though it's filled with weeds, but we can fix that later. Tip number one, before you cut down your wildflower field, get some paper bags, yeah, and let's collect some seeds, because these are like heirloom seeds. Our zinnias did really well. They have hundreds, or if not thousands, of seed heads on each flower. You put them in paper bags because you don't want them to get moist. We're just gonna go through, pick a bunch that we like, and put them in this bag. When this dries out, these are all seeds. Hundreds of them, thousands of them. You don't need many, but get a variety. Put them in your bag. Make sure your bag is marked, boom. It goes in there. And then I'm gonna try to get different colors, different heights, different varieties. And I'm only gonna take like 10, maybe 20 and stick them in this bag marked zinnia. I leave the bag open inside, they dry out, don't mess around with them. And then in the springtime, they'll be nice and crispy. They'll look just like the seeds you get from the expensive store. Mix them in with your seeds for the overseeding. Same thing with sunflowers. Good Lord, we've got these, I think they're called Mammoth Russian or Russian Mammoth. But these have like, on each plant, dozens, but overall hundreds of seed heads. Each one of them is gonna help me next year not have to buy them from the store. So again, the ones that are kind of beat, those are all seeds in there. Drop them in the bag. Do the same for your wildflowers, but make sure they're marked so that when you set them back out, you know where to go. Step number two is to buzz them all down to the ground and leave them where they fall. Okay, they'll insulate the garden, they'll drop more seeds, some little birds and animals can eat some of it, but there'll be millions of seeds here. So just leave them where they are. In the spring, you'll clean it up, till it up, and then get it going again. These are tall, I can't mow them down, so you have a couple of options. And again, the idea is to cut them and have them lay right where they're supposed to be. Get yourself a sharp machete, start grabbing stalks, and put them like this, right? Just lean them on top of each other and go through. Okay, and lay them in. So that could take up to 7 hours to do these, but my guys have a better solution. And this is an industrial strength string trimmer that we put a gnarly blade on, and watch how fast this goes versus doing it by hand. Either way, the wildflower field is coming down. Set the timer, 15 minutes, I guarantee it.
Right.
And this is what it should look like when you're done. But all of these seed heads that are in here are gonna eventually drop. The birds will eat them, but they'll get into the soil. It'll insulate the soil. This is the mulch. Next spring, I'll come out and fix it up a little bit. But we just went from chaos to order. Now for the Gladiolas. My wife's favorite flower is the Gladiola. So most people just leave their Gladiolas in the ground. once they're done doing their thing, I actually dig them up. 2 reasons why. The first one is to protect them. I put them in a safe place after washing them off. The second reason is because I don't want them all coming back up at the same exact time next spring. So when I plant them again, I'm gonna stagger them by 2 or 3 weeks, and then that way some grow up, they deliver their joy, and then as they're waning, the other ones are coming up. Very simple. You see the stalk? You're just gonna dig down and try to get I'm not sure they're bulbs, but whatever they are, this is what it looks like. And these are all the little babies. I think they're called kerms. I throw those in there, they'll grow up. But there must be 400 or 500 of them in here. And I've been working with these same gladiolas for years. And they're my friends. Perfect. But look at all of these that we pulled. And these are all heirlooms. So I have a plan for these. Some are gonna get transplanted. Others are going into the root cellar after I clean them off. But the idea is that these precious, valuable plants that my wife loves so much are going to be guaranteed to come back strong next year. Okay, so there you have it. The only way to conquer chaos is to level the playing field, which is what we just did. If you like this type of stuff, please subscribe, like, send me comments. And I love your comments. You guys know a lot about gardening. That's all for now. Chaos in the garden.